revelation tonight. I have to make it clear to you all that you're creating your own reality. You know I'm going to prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. All right. Who's got that first spiritual experience they'd like to share with us, or be generous enough to share with us?
I have one.
I have one.
Well, go
ahead. Go ahead, Keeper.
No, go ahead, Keeper. I thank you,
Okay, well, and I thank you too, sister. I appreciate you and love you.
But you always the big one,
No
Keith,
problem.
so.
I love you.
And I love both of you. I love all of you. All right?
I love you too, Messiah.
Well, actually,
yeah. Well, you got all that love coming from us that you know that love you.
All right.
Okay, well, my sister, one of my sisters called me the other day. We were talking on the phone, and I just happened to tell her that I had been having dreams over the course of the last 2 months about one of our cousins that passed away like 2 years ago. And she was like, that's interesting because she's been having dreams about her as well over the last 2 months. And then about a week ago, my youngest daughter called me and told me that my deceased cousin's 2 youngest kids came over there to see her. And they rarely have ever gotten along, let alone been together, and came over to my daughter's house to see her at the same time in the same space. So I don't know. Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
I heard that. Now it's documented with itself. And it's what you call a meeting of the minds. And I want you all to be prepared for the collective of like-minded others. We are coming together in these last days. So all kindred souls are going to come together and become one. Because as individuals, every one of you can do anything. Imagine what we can do as a collective. Remember what the Most High said, whenever 2 or more get together, all things are possible. Not to say that you can't do things as an individual, anything, but imagine at what great ease you can accomplish miracles together with a single mind. All right. Amun, what you got for us?
This morning when I was waking up and I was laying down in bed and I'd been awake, but just
you laying down on that big head. No, I just that's wrong.
So
that was so wrong.
So I was looking up at the ceiling. No, because you were laughing too much.
She is.
I'm sorry.
You split aside. She's about to fall out.
Yes, she is.
You saw her through the phone.
Anywho, I was laying down and I just looked up into the ceiling. I had an urge to look up at the ceiling, and when I looked up to the ceiling, there was a light. There was like a white light on the ceiling, like it was the sun.
Yeah.
But there was no way for the sun to come to that point.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept looking at it, and I was like, okay, what is this? And I start kind of questioning my higher self. I said, okay, so I'm just going to glance away, and then I'm going to glance back. And then if I glance back and it's still there, it's probably the sun or something coming in some way. I don't know how, but it was a bright light like the sun on the ceiling. So I glanced away for maybe a quick second and looked back, and it was gone.
All right. Well, that wasn't a sun glare. That was a being.
No, it wasn't.
But a lot of times, that being is you.
Okay.
You know, when we bilocate, you're a light being, usually floating on the ceiling looking down at yourself or across the room looking at yourself.
Right.
Okay.
So, Rahul, bad brother. So it's a lot of times you all are going to astonish yourself at your unlimited potential that's being unraveled in these last days. Remember that I told you that you all are gods.
Yes.
And that was not a fictitious statement. That was fact. And I hope that I'm proving it to you. I hope I'm
and
proving
I have
it to
a
you.
question linked with
I'll
that.
do my best.
Yes. Okay, in that you informed me that we are multidimensional beings.
Exactly.
Meaning at some point in our existence, we could possibly have been a tree or a bird or whatever
a star
form.
Or a sun.
Yes.
Or one
Absolutely.
another. Or one another. Or different aspects of our own being.
Do we continue to go in those forms on whatever level that appears?
Let me give you an example. When we go to sleep at night, and you go into what you call a dream state, and you wake up in that dream, and you may go meet people or go this place or that place, that's another version of you, the real Trinity, the etheric, soulful, and spiritual aspect of you, the Ankh Van Ka. That being, when you wake up as Ankh on this side and cease to exist to her, she thinks that you're only a dream. You follow me? And it's strange.
Okay.
Because when you see her, or you or her in a dream, and then you wake up on this side, and maybe a half hour passes on this side while you walk around with your daily experiences, you start thinking that she's a dream, don't you?
Yes.
That's right. Now you all reflect on why I told you that on risk, we teach our children that you all don't exist. And somebody asked me, well, why do you teach that? And I said, it's because you all teach here that we don't exist. You follow me? But you forgot that you are your own higher self. And extraterrestrials are you in the future. So the riskiers are you, and you are the riskiers. So what happens is, like Malachi say, my mind thinks it's real, but it's only a dream. So what it is that to you, the riskiers are a dream. Just like our good sister in Virginia, she saw the shams and she thought it was a dream. But it wasn't a dream. But by her teaching or telling people that it was a dream, that means that she don't think that we exist. So that's why we teach our children that you all don't exist here, okay?
So are our counterparts us also?
Also what? Yes,
so our counterparts.
Yeah. Yanu and I are one. But counterparts means a different polarity. Where counterparts is one is agreeable and the other is disagreeable. Let me explain. If there's any controversy about me saying he's disagreeable, if you refer to your holy tablets when you go into the beginning, Murdoch confesses that he was a disagreeable being, and that it was his sister Balat that used right knowledge to convert him to be an agreeable being, right? But that he was disagreeable, right? So, to you Earth people here, you have agreeable and disagreeable within one being. Please mute the phone. You are agreeable and disagreeable. I'm sorry? You are, Earth beings are agreeable and disagreeable inside of one being. Because the carnal aspect of you, the physical things you see in the mirror, that's the carnal, the shade thing, the physical clay. And that thing there wants what it wants, and it has no concern for others or itself. It'll eat pig feet and drink whiskey and smoke cigarettes regardless of the harm that it'll do to the body. That's the devil, the shade thing, or Satan. The spiritual aspect of you, the inner being, the Ong-Ban Ka, the real Trinity, that's the aspect of you that is biblically described as he created you a solid clay of black mud, fashioned in shape. When he made complete your form, he blew into the nostrils of his breath and made you a living soul. So the aspect of you that belongs to the Most High, that doesn't belong to this physical realm, is the inner being, God inside the temple. Again, the temple is not a building down the street, but the place on the side of your head next to your ears, and your eyes are windows to the soul. It's that silent voice that tells you, don't eat that Bigfoot, or stay away from that man or that woman. Right? And you have free will to choose whether you want to listen to the carnal or lower self, or you're going to listen to God. I don't have to tell you all what the animals choose every time. When you tell bears to hibernate, what do?
They hibernate. Go to sleep.
When you tell trout to swim upstream, what do? To lay eggs. Even if they're gonna die when you tell birds to fly south, for the winter, what do?
They obey.
They fly south for the winter.
Rahubat. But when you tell a man or a woman to do something, what do? Sometimes they argue with God, and sometimes they, yeah. And then there's always consequences, aren't there?
Yes.
Yes.
And then oops upside the head. And they say this is a cold world. Because karma catches up with them for all their past and future lives. And they say God is not fair because the child is born without legs or blind, without asking what that child did in all his past and future lives, right? But to insinuate that the Most High is not fair is utterly ridiculous. Because the Most High is your own higher self. Why or how could I say that? Because your inner being is your higher self. You have to know that. That silent voice, when it always told you all your life, and it's been guiding you, telling you, don't do that, sister, don't do that, brother. Stay away from that person, and don't go out there. And you find out later, wow, I should listen to something told me not to do that. I should have followed my first mind, right? So has God ever been wrong? Honestly, tell the truth. Now, your ego might want to say, yeah, no, God is always wrong, always right. And our carnal self is always wrong. The devil is always wrong. But how many times do we have to say that before we concede and confess that Most High is the perfect God and the only spiritual guide worthy of being adhered to in creation is the creator of it? You follow me? When are we going to get a bird brain? You follow? Right. We're so busy being smart, we don't realize how dumb we really are, do we?
True, that's right.
And we constantly walk wide-eyed into the fire.
Yes.
Yep, eyes wide shut.
Yeah. Now, does somebody else have a question or a statement or a spiritual experience?
I do.
Go ahead.
I was reminding myself that I hadn't had an experience in longer than I want to. So, and I was feeling a little tired, so I got up and went and took a nice shower bath. So when I got back upstairs and put on my clothes and stuff, I was getting ready to lay back down. So I decided to come back downstairs for something else. And as I approached the bottom of the steps, I saw a white, bright light that seemed like it was in the form of something, maybe a cat or a bird or something. But it flew from, we got a little heater at the bottom of the stairs, and it flew from the top of that heater to seemingly over to the couch and out the window. And it startled me for a minute, but then I decided that I just said to myself, I haven't had an experience in a while. And so I clocked that up as the experience that I called for.
All right. Anybody else have a spiritual experience? Yes.
And I've been having a really good feeling after all day long after that.
All right. I hope we all contribute to that tonight. Go ahead. Go ahead, Hotel.
Yes. Here lately, I'm having those white lights flashing in both of my eyes. More so in my left eye than the right, but they're increasing.
Now, let me say, Mutiphone, for those that don't know, when he's talking about a light flashing in his eye, he means a literal light. It flashes in your eye. You can look up the word Christianus bulbus. It flashes in your eye and it has a suction and a heat to it, like those old-fashioned cameras they had in the 30s and 40s. Like when a flash bulb goes off, it's got a heat, a warmth, and a pull, a suction. That is a real light. Now, I need to ask you, Harry, how long that's been happening, and where did you first become aware of that light in the eye?
I know it's been right at 20 years now. Right at 20 years. But when it first started happening, I thought I was just imagining things, until I got deep into your teaching. And that's when I started realizing.
Let me ask you, when people come around me back then, what did they start seeing?
The light, the white light.
Flashing in their eyes. So did you see that light flashing in your eyes before you came to me or after you came to me?
After I came to you.
That's right. And that's a sign of transformation. When I was at the height of that, I noticed that, please mute your phones, I noticed that when I would sit back on the bed in the dark, I would see like bright arc lights dripping through the ceiling like in drops, plasma lights, spiritual lights. It was like liquid plasma dripping through the light, through the ceiling, right where I laid my head on the bed. And it took me many years to realize that that's exactly what happened to Yahshua HaMashiach, Isa, or Jesus the Messiah, Horus, Tutankhamun, the Messiah, in the River Jordan when he was being baptized by John, and John bore witness to a white dove descending down from the sky and dropping into Jesus as the angel Gabriel, that these angelic beings were dripping down from a craft over the house into my head, and I was being, what would be the best word? They were propagating my being, and all of them occupy different cells until it was the correct time for them to come forth with their mission, like Akhlid or Amun. So be encouraged when you start having these anomalies happen to you, because they all have a meaning and a purpose, a reason and a season. All right. Thank you, Hotep. All right. Anybody else have another spiritual experience or that first question?
I have a question.
And I'll do my best.
Yes, I wanted to ask, do we really need to reach perfection, or we just have to reach balance? Because it seems like everything has value whenever it has its opposite. Like good, we only know the value of good when there is evil, or we only know the value of evil when there is good. But once we reach perfection, it means that there is no more.
Don't let anybody encourage you. Don't let anybody quantify evil for you by saying it's necessary for you to appreciate good. But I will tell you, as far as reaching perfection, that is unattainable. There's only one that's perfect. That is Fa'u. But we should always strive, sister, strive for perfection. Are you following me?
Yes.
It's like reaching for the stars. Perfection is like reaching for the stars. Even if you fall short and only hit the moon, you'll still be out of this world. Okay?
Okay.
Right. But we don't need evil for balance. Let me explain that to you.
Okay.
Because we were all originally in heaven, am I right?
Yes.
Okay. There was no evil there, but there was total balance, okay?
Okay.
All right. You follow me?
Yes.
We're all creating our own reality. We're all creating our own reality. Be conscious of that and take responsibility for your own existence. Because if you don't take responsibility, you'll never have the ability to respond. You follow me?
Yes.
Now, you may ask, how is it that we create our own creation? I'd like somebody to tell me about an apartment complex after I get through with this. Can anybody remind me of that? An apartment complex.
Sure.
Anybody? Okay.
Yes.
All right. When you create your own reality as deity, you're doing it in your mind. Mute your phones, please. You're creating your own reality in your mind. How many of you know what a laser light is? Okay. How many of you know what a hologram is? The way you create a hologram, you create a hologram with a laser light. It travels in a perfectly straight line. But when you turn the laser light on, you point it at what we call a beam splitter. Write that down and look it up. Beam splitter. This is a class. And the laser beam hits that beam splitter like the pointed edge of a slice of cheese, and it splits the beam, obviously. And the left-hand side of the beam going straight, it hits the film plate that you directed at, while the half of the beam that veers to the right, it angles off and hits a mirror. That hits another angled mirror and directs it, the beam again, directly at the first original beam that you're shooting forward. And when it runs into that beam head on, the same beam runs into itself. It creates a three-dimensional image that you call a hologram. It's not two dimensions like a picture that has height and width. It's three dimensions because it also has depth now. You follow me? Can you see that? So that's exactly what you do in your own mind. You have light in your mind, and it's fired off walls by synapses, electrical charges in your blood that hit, in essence, these crevasses inside of your mind that act as a beam splitter. And whatever you imagine, the first word in imagine is image. It's creating a three-dimensional holographic picture in your mind that you project outside of yourself and think that it's outside of you when it's really inside of you, like a picture on the wall that you think is outside, but it's your imagination that creates the image inside of your mind. And then when you open your eyes with the expectation of seeing it on the wall, that's what creates the picture on the wall. Are you following me? Which is the reflection of the one that you created in your mind. Now, let me say that there are two types of people I've found as long as I've been studying people, and I've been studying them a long time. You have vague people and vivid people. And upon further study, I found out that they people are cherubim, and the vivid people are seraphim. What's the difference? You ask a vivid person, when they tell you about a clock, to describe the clock, and they go into a lot of detail. They said, oh, it was a red clock with a ceramic transparent globe on it, Roman numerals, and the clock could be run by electricity or either battery powered. It can hang on the wall in the kitchen. It's silent or it has a ticking sound to it. And it has a stem that you can wind it up whenever you're not using the batteries or plugging it up. They go into a lot of detail. In order for them to go in that kind of a detail about what they saw in your kitchen, they have to remember it in their imagination, in their memory, in that kind of detail, which means that they recreate it inside of their mind. But you ask a cherubim about that, and they'll say, oh, a clock. There was a clock on the wall in your kitchen. That's it. No imagination, no detail, just a very dense, thick response. There was a clock on the wall. And they wonder why they can't create reality like you. But you have to know that. When you want to create reality, you have to create a three-dimensional impression of it. You can't imagine things in two dimensions like you picture things in your mind, like a car you want, a man or woman, and you look at them like a picture with height and width, no depth. Because the three-dimensional reality or existence can't reproduce a two-dimensional object. If you wanted to create something three-dimensional, you have to see it in three dimensions. You have to see that person from the front, side, and back. You have to see that car as a picture, but you have to be able to walk to it and open the door to get inside of it and drive it. Smell the leather. You got to go into detail if you want to get a certain kind of a property you're creating. Right down to the blades of grass, the people around it, whether they're happy or sad, the people that come in and out of your home in the refrigerator, the kind of smells you smell from the food that's cooking in the oven. You got to get into a lot of detail. Like a seraphim or a God, you have to be able to imagine these things. And remember that your imagination will separate you from the animals. You ever met people that seem to be lackluster or don't really have an imagination? The majority of people are like that, right? Like a squirrel that runs across an electric line over 8-lane highway at full speed in the high wind and rain when it's ice on the thing. And then when you look down on the street, before you hit the brakes, he's flat on the ground and you got to run over you, boop, boop, you feel him up under you. Because he didn't have the imagination to imagine what if the wind blew right then and that ice got slick and he just slipped and fell. So what do? They jump out of airplanes and off bungee jumps. They do all, you know what it is? They're daredevils. They lack imagination. But they think they're brave when they're just really stupid. Right? Because if they ask a seraphim, let's do this like that, and they're going to say, I can imagine, no, why? Why do I have to do that? A simple thing, too. You could be walking with a seraphim across a busy street, and the cars are coming, and you say, come on, we got time to go, let's just run. And they say, no, you go ahead, I'll be over there. Because then you can imagine, but what if my shoestring comes loose? We got time to make it, but I can trip and I ain't got time to tie it back up. I get hit by, no, you go, I'll be there when the light, it's not that heavy. You go on over there. And you probably make it, but the thing is, what if you don't? Iron-ass Pete, what if you don't? You don't have to think about it, but you should. That's a complex mind. A deity is thinking about considering all things. And people, that's right, people judge a deity and they think that they overthink things, but maybe they haven't considered that maybe they might be underthinking things, trying to make it too simplistic. It might be a lot more complicated than that. All of you have had the experience, and I gave you this example before, that you drive down the street, walk down the street, you see a perfectly good, viable gas station there. People come in and out the gas station, purchasing products, buying gas, get their car washed on that corner. Then a month later you pass by there and they tear it down. And you scratch your head without your hand, you're confused. Why are they tearing that gas station down? 3 months later you drive by that same vacant corner. I'll be goddamn, they building a brand new gas station right there in that same spot. Why are they doing that? They playing with your mind. A lot of you recall driving by a vacant lot in your city, and there was nothing out there but weeds and bricks and broken bottles, old stoves and couches, just a vacant lot that people use for a dumping ground. But one day you passed by there, and they had a big sign they had put up out there, a big giant sign, and they had an artist's illustration of an apartment complex on that sign. And it had swinging gates and sprinklers and cars and children playing, kids riding little tricycles. Oh, it was a beautiful scene on that sign, the way the artist depicted. And it said, soon coming. And they had a phone number up there and an address that you could go to if you wanted to sign up and purchase one of those apartments in advance, because it was still a vacant lot. But you believed in the vision and the project, and you wrote down the phone number, got the address, you went down there to the office. When you walked in, they had a model of that same apartment complex on the table. When you walked in the office, you told them, I want to sign up. You told me, I want a corner apartment on the second floor. They told you how much it would be and how much the down payment would be, the deposit. You paid it. And they told you when their projected completion would be. Right? And then 8 months later, you drove by that same corner, and there it was, that beautiful apartment complex, just like on the table and like on the sign. They had the gates moving, opening, electronically, and water sprinklers and flowers everywhere, the kids playing, riding tricycles, the cars all parked. It was just like, and you moved on in there to your apartment with your key, and there it was. My question to you is, where was that apartment complex created at? Can somebody tell me?
In your mind.
In the mind of that person.
But everybody thinks that the car was made out of iron and rubber and leather. You follow me? But it really was, what it actually was is faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things yet unseen. Through faith or belief, we understand that the world, being the sun, moon, and stars, and the apartment complex, were formed by the word of God, so that things that are seen, like the clock on the wall, were not made by things which do appear. Because you can't see the thought or the imagination that thought that up until the project is actually, the car is parked in the yard, or the clock is on the wall, or you live in an apartment complex. Now, your mind is a powerful thing, deity. Remember, God never looks back. You say, why, Amun? When you look back, you ever been around a person, a good friend, but every time they get a few beers or a sip of wine, they start going back to about when me and Willie was together. It was real good back then, but he had his ways. He mess up, and they go into that, and pretty soon they crying over their beer, wine, this, that, and the other. And you say, I really like being around you, but when you get like that, and keep going back there with Willie and with Diane, I'm tired of, I don't want to hear that no more about what you did back then and all that. Don't you understand? You keep trying to take me back. Now, what's the matter with that? You say there's nothing wrong with them remembering that. Yes, it is. Because when they drum up those old memories, they drum up those old emotions. And they start feeling all that pain. thus they start crying and react. You can see that they're, and because you friends with them, it disturbs you emotionally, and so you want to know, why do you keep going back there? Because all your hell lives in the past. So God should be so preoccupied with all their tomorrows that they don't have time to look back at their past. Can anybody hear me with their good ear?
I definitely hear you.
Yes.
Well, for those of you that can't, I love you, but those of you that can't hear thunder will learn that you're going to feel lightning. You're going to be singing, "Oh, won't you be kind to me?" I wish I'd heard Amun the first time he drove up. But I'm giving you the truth right there. You hear me? Now, there's a lot more I'm going to explain to you about this subject in the next class. But right now, I'd like to get questions as to what you just heard. Use your imagination. What is it you want to know? There's got to be some Seraphat here somewhere. Deities. Wake up. What is your question?
Okay, I have questions, but not related to what you just asked about.
All right. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm here for you.
Thank you. Can you go more into detail about the blue avians? Like maybe where they're from, or, just more about them?
Well, you got a holy tablet or access to the download of the holy tablets. Look inside of them and look for a woman called Mother Hubert. Right? She's a powerful woman in the scripture. Understand that those ranging in ranks. Let me explain.
Well, I remember. Okay.
Yeah. Those ranging in ranks is that there are beings out there in numerical order as to their level of consciousness or their level of royalty or rulership. And all the males have odd numbers and all the females have even numbers. Right? So, Anu's number is 60 as the Most High. The highest in intellect. How does Fa'ut choose the Most High? By the level of consciousness. It's like all of you are lined up in a race, and when they fire the starting gun, it's not physical, it's an intellectual race. So whoever studies the hardest, memorizes the most, and can teach the best, when they get to the end of the race, then they become the Most High. So that can change, just like it has in the past, because it was Anshar before it was Anu. Can anybody hear me? Anshar was the Most High before Anu was. All right. So if you study hard and expand, it's not out of the question that one day you could become the Most High. But I'll tell you, you're going to be a studying so-and-so. You got me? But there are females out there with even numbers. And Mother Hubert, her number is 55. And you may think to yourself, well, that's not much when Anu, the highest, has 60. But when you consider that Melchizedek has a number of 50, and his father Enki has a number of 40, you got to look at her a lot different then, don't you? She's 55. So she's second in command over all of the heavens and the earth. She created a race of avians, bird beings. And she's at war with the reptilians. Reptilians act like they bad, and if they walk past your house, your damn lawn will die. But they all run for tall grass when somebody calls the name Mother Hubert. You understand what I mean? They all run for tall grass. Y'all done seen birds with lizards. It don't end nice. Now, these blue avians are being reflected in the commercials I told you all to be cognizant of, like the people falling with pizza with the burning tennis shoes and all that. Or, I'm the king of Prince. I'm the prince of darkness. I need your help. Some of you seeing them floating down out the sky, fluttering with ping pong paddles down to the tennis court. Then when they start knocking the ball back and forth, they catch on fire. Right? But have you paid attention to this commercial, this insurance commercial, where they got this big yellow bird? First he was picking the glass, then he got this white guy that wears glasses that's his keeper that drives the car.
Yeah, the
yellow bird. Liberty, right. What's the name of that big bird? What do they call it?
It's an emu.
Emu, yeah. And now he got his little nephew, got a little bitty car, a little bitty bird that he rides with. But this bird is everywhere. You're starting to see him now, right? Start waking up to your surroundings and use your imagination. That's the avians. You hear me? The bird beings. What I'm going to do is send you in your next package some information in the form of DVDs and CDs about the avians and how they're going to come to the earth and interact with you all. But the blue avians, they work in concert with Ra, the sun deity, because they too believe in oneness. They're agreeable beings, for the most part, not disagreeable. And they're still at war with reptiles. So you want these avians to be your buddy. That's what I'm saying. Okay. You follow me? Now, do you have any more questions about the avians?
I did, but I think you might. Well, I was also gonna just ask, but you kind of answered it. Like, can we contact them, or will they contact us, or our higher?
Well, I'd like you to do right now. Well, let me tell you something. When extraterrestrials try to contact you, they have to meet the vanguard that stands in the gap with your own higher self, like a young girl's daddy at the door. They don't go straight to her. They ask consent of your higher self to approach you, and your higher self may say, well, he or she's not ready. But if you start coming to them in dreams, and get them more used to it and ready and calm them down, then you can make an approach. And your higher self will communicate that to their higher self. But being they're extraterrestrials and they vibrate on a higher frequency than you human, they're closer to their own higher self, so they get the information, the message directly. So they know how to approach you. You follow?
Yes.
But these beings are one with Ra. And you can ask your own self, Amun, ask for the blue avians and the ones for Ra to come to you and make their presence known. Ask for a healing. Ask them to present themselves before you and let you consciously enter into their kingdom. And if you're persistent enough and have a pure enough heart, they'll take the next step, okay?
Okay. Now, how do we...
Go ahead.
So what's the step? How do we ask? How do we communicate with them again?
Just ask. ASK. Ask, seek, and knock. Right? Ask and it will be given. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be opened unto you. ASK. Just ask. But be sincere about it. Without doubt.
So,
Have no. Go ahead.
You say avions when you ask? When you have to, like,
Avions. And your buddy, the one you love, is Amun-Rayay. The Rock. The Wonders. Ask Rod to get in touch with you, too. Because they all kick it together. Right.
Yeah, on that CD, it talked about Raw at the beginning, and then it talks about the avions. I think this is what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, Corey Good will have some information, a lot of information on that. And I gave you all some DVDs and information on that too.
Yeah,
a lot of you should have got. How many of you got information from Corey Good on the avians and raw material?
I did.
Yes, I did.
I did. That's why I'm asking questions.
I did.
I got you. I love you. All right. Next. Very good. Next question.
I have a question.
I'll do my best.
The sister earlier asked a question about balance and everything. And my question is, now we are in the hereafter, and as we ascend on our path, and when I say ascend, I'm talking about from a vibrational or frequency point of view.
Yes.
As we do that, at some point, time will cease to be, and things will just be. There won't be any polarities.
Exactly. There won't be any good or evil. Won't be any more lies. Won't be any more devil. Right? No more death. No more sickness.
And as we continue to ascend, we will shed this body and go to our true whole light body, or we have that option to and become il-mutajazid.
Yeah, you can shed. You have the option of shed. You have the option of shedding the body. But you have to understand, with this DNA upgrade that you're going through right now, you can choose to stay in that physical body too. Right? What if in fact you do shed that body? What if you shed that body? Remember, extraterrestrials will come to you, the Elohim will come to you, they'll lay you on your right side. And with lasers, they'll surgically go into the base of your spine and open up.
Me this.
Then they'll come forward and place a velar between the disc and your back. A dye, a disc, a crystal, a velar. And what crystals do is that they retain information like a computer. And they'll close, and there'll be no signs of a cut or surgery, but that crystal or that velar, that dye, that disc, will take all the information from the time you were born up until the time you make the separation, physically, spiritually, soulfully, etherically. All your past memories and future memories. So that when it's time for the separation and you go up through the shift, they'll remove that velar and they'll place it in a facility like an editing station, like they do with music, where they got all this equipment where they edit the music and what have you. And very intelligent elders, specifically chosen, will be there to edit your velar, your disc. They can pull up that information and see everything from your beginning to your end that disturbed you, everything that was disagreeable and painful, and they can edit that out. And they'll replace it with pleasant memories and beautiful experiences. And then as your spirit ascends up at that speed through the Stargate, it'll break apart just like on Star Trek into all these pieces. And they'll reassemble your form into a spiritual being with this added benevolent memories. You'll be a perfected being, and as you ascend further up the red shift, then you divide against yourself with a pole going vertically up on this side, another going vertically up on this side, with strands of energy and information going between them like a spider weaving a web between those poles that'll vibrate. Then they'll go back up and start till it gets thicker and thicker, like a caterpillar building a cocoon until you can stand up from a distance and actually realize that is your own consciousness forming another body for you, a perfected man or woman, just like you always dreamed you wanted to be. And that new reborn consciousness will inherit and plant itself inside that form. Or you can make the separation and say, I'm tired of the physical world, I don't want to go back, I didn't like those experiences. And you can keep going up and blend back into the rays and become one with all again, retaining all of your memories if you want. In other words, you just like la-di-da-di, you got something for everybody, you do what you want. That's what heaven is made of. You can do anything in heaven except be sad. It's all about the joy.
Wow.
They want a methal. They want you to smile so big that your ears touch in the back of your head. They want you walking around like you got a banana in your mouth sideways. Is that happy enough?
Yes, it is.
All right. They mean happy. Happy as a baby. That's right. I love you.
I love you.
I love you more. I was telling a sister the other night, I wanted her to envision she and I flying up through the ether in a vacuum of space, and that far up ahead we could see a glimmer of beautiful light in a ball. And the closer we got to it, we started making out a little detail, like land masses and blue water and this, that, and the other. And when we got close enough on our approach, we realized that it was the world, it was Earth. And we looked at this golden chain that was dangling in space by a golden chain, and up further we saw a melanated hand, a giant melanated hand holding it up, the world, by a golden chain, like a bauble. And as we traced our vision up that hand and up that arm, we got to the face and we realized it was her. It was her.
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful?
Beautiful.
You got the whole world in your hand. You got the. That's right. Yes.
Amun just reminded me about a vision that I had one time, flying up, like up towards the right side of my dream space, and we were blue light formed. There was blue light around us, and we were flying. We were so close together that it just looked like one big cloud that had a long side and a short side, just flying up and up and up towards heaven, towards my upper right of what I call my dream space.
Well, all right. Bless you. I want you all to know that you have the power to create heaven, and you're going to create a new heaven and a new earth in your own consciousness. Please don't tell me it won't happen without realizing and remembering that there was a time when I told you would move stars, and you didn't believe it till it started happening. All right? What's the next question? My beloved family.
Amun.
Yes.
Amun. This app, Ra Amun.
Yes.
I want to. Can you elaborate a little bit about you being from Sirius and or Orion?
Yes, I can. Well, Malachi is from Orion. He's from Sirius, rather, and I'm from Orion and Sirius. Those of you that know me as Sananda know I have a starship. But let me refer to a writing by Partner Babi Anu that'll throw some light in blind corners for you. Okay, you have accepted that we, Panajaru, were, and are who inspired him, Panabab Yanun. And these very readings for you. Amazingly enough, when some of you have the opportunity to listen to the readings that we conveyed, your eyes overflow with tears as a result of you knowing and feeling the loss of one such as he. Your very ears exclaim, truth is truth. Then you say, Ya Panibu, Ya Najaru, we have trusted in him who you sent. We implore you, include us in the company of those whose entire life is still and has been truly committed to him. Now, who else do you all know that was sent by the Most High?
Nobody. Only you.
You, Amun?
Yes, of course. Give me the holy tablets. You all have holy tablets. If you go to chapter 13, tablet 16, verse 248, and read, I, Elion El, sent to you Ahmed as an apostle, reciting the purified pages of the holy tablets. Yanun says that he was sent here to introduce you all to me as the Messiah. Chapter 4, tablet 6 of the holy tablets tells you that I am the great archpriest that will perform miracles greater and more glorious than all the previous ones. Chapter 19, tablet 6 tells you that I am the Messiah. Malachi tells you I'm the Messiah, and he is not the Messiah over and over again. For anybody that'll listen, anybody that'll hear. And even if you listen tonight long enough, you may hear him say it again. Then you say, don't, please mute the phones. We implore you, include us in the company of those whose entire life is still and has been truly committed to him. We declare to anyone who rejects him and the Wapu the trustworthy way of life and becomes high and mighty and would rather have what this temporal world offers, that misery is your destiny, but the infernal regions shall be your final destination. And I need somebody with a truthful heart and an intelligent mind to interpret this. We, Panajaru, as Amun-Rayay. All of you got this post, so some of you are following along, I hope, right?
Tua.
All right. Am I adding or subtracting any words?
You are not.
I'm reading what's here. All right. We, Panajaru, as Amun-Rayay, what does that mean? We, Panajaru, as Amun-Rayay. As a collective,
we are Amun-Rayay.
That's right. The Najaru are Amun-Rayay. We, Panajaru, as Amun-Rayay, because Malachi and I are one, declare to anyone who accepts him in truth the true manifestation. Now, who is this? Per-Ray Amun-Rayay. Who is that?
Malachi.
Say it again. That's
Malachi.
right. That's what it is. Father Babianu. Per-Ray Amun-Rayay. That's Malachi. Who brings forth Ray-Har Hakat Pa-Masu, the Messiah. Pa-Amun. The Amun as Har. Now, are those two beings or one? No, that's not. Yes is not an answer.
One.
No, it's not. No, it's not. They are one, but
it's two.
It's like when you say the
ultimately
Trinity,
one, but it's two beings.
Like when you talk about the Trinity, God the Father, God, it's really three mems are really all this Godhead, right? Because Per-Ray Amun-Rayay is Yanun, who brings forth Ray-Har Hakat Pa-Masu, the Messiah. Another being, Pa-Amun, the Amun as Har.
Which is you. Yeah.
Exactly. That is me. but we are one, as all of us are one, if you only but knew. The Amun is hard and exhibits such devotion through integrity of character and good works as Nawapians that he is saved from hell. He has truly found our saving grace, salvation, the ultimate reality. Anybody need me to send this to them, can give me their email address. There's not much time left in this cycle. Do you realize this? Then he has one of his DVDs, Patarak, and I have it in book form, The Nawabian Christ. Another DVD, Dr. Malachi Z. York L. I am not the Messiah. And then Patarak, who is the Nawabian's Christ? Then Dr. Malachi Z. York, The Return of Jesus. 90. Many of these attempts to keep you ignorant to these facts of your fate from Ptah, Amun-Rayay, Amun-Ra, Karas, Christ, Asar, Usir, Har, Horus, Karas, Christ, Ankh and Amun, Tut, Ankh, Amun, or Tut, Amun, Karas, Christ, the golden child, was Tut, Ankh, Amun, the incarnation, living image of Amun-Rayay. Yet he died, the Egyptian, right? Thousands of years ago, he died before he could fulfill his mission and keep the throne age of 9 for 3.5 years to age 13. His extraterrestrial father, Ankh-I-Natun, whose name also Nefar, Kaf-Rayay, Wa-I-Rayay, and Amun-Hat-Ap Paraban the fourth appeared for the ninth gate to be opened at a place that was set up, Ashat Atun, horizon of Atun, the site of Arvana. All was in place, yet he died. So now the time is 2003 to 2009. Best kept secret. Don't miss it. So with the shift of this planet, all the gates have shifted. The upper ninth, northeast of the lower ninth gate, west-south for this time, the sun, Amun-Rayay, will rise from the west. So in time there will be 2 east and 2 west. As it shifted once, as the planet will shift again. Mute your phone. As you read the Muslims' book, Al-Quran, the Al-Quran, who will deny it? Quran 5:699. So which of you two, human, jinn, or mortal man, blessings of your two masters, you two will lie about? It ain't but one, that's what they're going to say. And he can tell you how many masters he say they are. Describe the clock on the wall.
2.
He said there's 2 masters. So which of you two human jinn, the human jinn or the mortal man, blessings of your 2 masters, you two will lie about? They believe in me but not Malachi. I believe in Malachi but not me. Quran 55:17, 100. He is the master of the 2 east and the master of the 2 west. So the east will become west and the west will become east. This can only happen with the planet shift. Somebody explain to me how that can be possible. 2 east and 2 west on one planet. Vesica Pisces. The worlds are splitting into the new heaven and new earth. Yeah, it's already split. Look up the Mandela effect. You can see where Nelson Mandela in the old world died in penitentiary. But in the new world, the new heaven, with the new Bible, he was freed from penitentiary and became president of South Africa. I could go on and on, but that proof should have been revealed to you if you've been walking with me. As the sun will rise in the west, Matthew 24:27, Quran 55:18. So, by which of you two masters will you lie about? Now, who's going to lie about it and say it's only one master? But he said two masters. Look at the DVD, Proving the Existence of God, where Malachi tells you there's another God here. And he thinks outside the box. He's not trapped inside a person's places and things. He'll do it a little differently. And then he went to the chalkboard that he was teaching on, writing down all his formulas, and he started erasing it. He said, and all this old stuff has got to what?
It's got to go.
It's got to go. Why is there only one person answer the questions that they know the answer to? How many of you will deny this from among the jinn? Right.
I was
Well, then speak up, guys. Okay. From Potiphar as a proud one, to make sure you will see two east and two west. To make sure you will see two east and two west, the Savior will rise up in the west. Africa is east of this west. Arabia, Jerusalem is far east from America. Matthew 24:27, 109. I am here as the Ancient of Days. Didjahutwi. Why is he here? Somebody read. I am here as the Ancient of Days. Didjahutwi. To do what?
To bring him forth.
To bring him forth. To bring who forth? That's right. To bring me forth. Turn the fan on.
Yes.
Come on. You both, mortal man, Nagaru, Negroid, and humans, Jinn, Kakasu, Caucasoid, will both lie about this event. Both of those, Abrahamism, who is of the Sumerian Ibrahim, son of Terah, prince of Nippur and Haran, 111. Those of you who follow Ibrahim, Amun-Rayay, and Genesis as well as the Gospel, 112. They don't have originals. And most don't understand what they are reading. They lost so many of their older tablets, they refuse to accept the Sumerian Egyptian records. So they make up Egyptian records. They make up meanings for the things they don't understand. Mosesism, Judaism, Jesusism, Christianity, Mohammedanism, Al-Islam. So they will make up or lie about what they don't understand in their newly translated books. Torah, Old Testament, Gospel, New Testament, Quran, Mohammedanism, Al-Islam. They don't know which Christ they follow or the stories originated with the Egyptians. Osiris, Ashtat, Isis, and Horus, and the virgin birth story, being Asar was dead, and yet Ashtat gave birth to his son, Horus. From that ancient Egyptian story were all others born. So they made their own Jesus Christ Messiah. They made their own Jesus Christ Messiah story. They have you worship the image of the beast, sending our 9 ether forces to their 6 ether forces. Revelations. You feed them with your Ba soul to keep their cow spirit self alive. Know your counterpart. The fallen are upon the gates. Open the gates to hell by blocking the truth. My brother, the extraterrestrial. Pages 38-39. Question. So Nuwapu is the people, and Wunuwap is the religion. Answer. It can be called that only because the word religion means in Latin religio, holiness, and holy is sun, or from Heliopolis, an ancient command. Egypt is Tel Esin, or place of the sun, which is where the crafts of Amun-Rayay, Amun-Ra, landed from Sahat, Orion, and Sabatat, Sirius, star systems. And Amorphous is where Ditchahudi, Thoth, that's Malachi, landed from Sabatat, Sirius. So there's the question, brother. You see it right there. The answer, rather. Where did Amun, he landed? I came from Sahat, Orion, and Sabatat, Sirius. And Tahuti and Thoth came from Sabatat, Sirius only. That's another way to distinguish that it was two of us, right? Sirius, yet in face, is the only true way of living given to you by Panajaru, the overseers. Who is the overseer of the heavens and the earth according to the prayer of Amun? In the back of the Patarak concentration. That's right, Amun. I am the overseer of the heavens and the earth. And all true Nawapians know that. A basic command, our true Salafu ancestors. The Christ, harassed. Question. Then if I may ask, why don't they reveal themselves to us physically after the fact is they do incarnate to you, yet you have and still reject their help? That's true. Question. Can you please point out, other than yourself or in your past ones I will recognize? Yes, in fact, the noble lady called Tati, the mother of Kafar, Amun-Rayay, who became known as Ankh-An, Atun, and Amun-Hotep Pa-Raban. Amenhotep IV was a demigod, half human by his father and half extraterrestrial by his mother. And he took a wife, a humanoid named Kia, birth of 1/3 extraterrestrial, who was called Didjahutwi. Ankh-Amun, originally named Nabab Kafar Ray, called Tut Ankh-Amun, or King Tut. That was me. He was born to be a Kharast, or Christ. Reincarnation of Harar, son of Ashatat, by Amun-Rayay, the real son of God. Son of a human being, man. By his father equals the son of a deity. By his mother equals the son of a man, or mortal being. He is a demi-deity. His father go to blood from the Habaru Hebrews and their deity Adonai, who in command Egypt was Atun-Rayay, Atun, a race of extraterrestrials, who the Habaru, 9 Hebrews, and Shasasu, Israelites, worshipped and mixed their blood with. So the blood was passed on to Akhenaten from his mother Tati, who was the daughter of Uyah, Joseph, son of Jacob, in the Bible, and his wife Egyptian Tuyah, in Bible of Asenath, Genesis 41-52. So the blood was mixed in Kamam, Egypt, and Asenath's son was called I, the second, in Egypt, and was Ephraim, brother of Manasseh, and I's name was Kafar Uray. This I, the second, was the father of Nefertat Tui, known as Nefertiti, also called Nefertart, Nefertatu, Atun. She was 1/2 extraterrestrial. So the golden child of Christ could not come from her, and he be a true demigod, as Amun-Rayay was. So you see, yes, there are many on record. You will see he was a he-she, hermaphrodite, and his extraterrestrial consort Nefertiti was a Nostat, hermaphrodite. They were to pin the Dawam vortex or gateway from the new site called Tel Armana or Akkad Atun, which means horizon of Atun, before Ankh-Ayn Atun could complete the gateway. He put the golden child, Tut-Ankh-Amun, living image of Amun, or hidden, unseen one, and 4 hermaphrodites in place. He was killed. Tut-Ankh-Amun had an ancestor and was left to die by I II so he could take the throne. Question, if I may ask, are you saying different extraterrestrials came to each race of people? Answer, yes. That is the actual fact. It has to do with tone, vibrations on the same frequency, and modulation. Question, so to each people their own? Answer, yes. This is how it works. Like this, the Mongolians or Asians came with one knee from the sky. To the Caucasoids, the Europeans came Odin. To the Negroids or Africans came Ptah. And many sub-races by much seed mixing of their 3 visitors over many thousands of years of Earth records. Each has left signs they were here. Question, so are you in faith saying Negroids are the ancient Egyptians? Answer, yes. That is the actual fact, and is encoded in your 24,000 DNA strands, genomes of your genes, chromosomes. We implanted it at the demi-deity called Horus. That's the Egyptian word for Jesus. Heru, who is Harar. So it's included and is called by you, or will be, Har-1, unique to humanoids. Now, through mixing, Caucasoids have it now, and their code too. This gene is located on the 20th chromosome. It's Har-1 because Har-1, Horus, was in fact the first healing divine love. Now, here's a healing testimony from Amun-Rayay, one of our beloved students. Rahubat family, this is Amun-Rayay. Just needed to share the continuously divine love of the real Messiah, Amun-Rayay Asa. Normally, I hardly ever get sick or become sick, but last week I was feeling some kind of way. Felt like I was poisoned or maybe a stomach virus. But I tossed and turned all night last Thursday and almost Friday until I muscled up enough strength to call the Messiah and explain to him my situation. And he immediately told me he would send me some light. And the Messiah authority, Amun-Rayay, sent so much light my way that sleep came up on me so fast that when I did wake up, looking up at the ceiling, I could see writing all over it. The ceiling at first I thought I was dreaming, but no, if I wasn't dreaming, I kept looking up at the ceiling, now trying to read and see what was written. But I could not see or understand the writing, but it appeared to have been written in English. After sunrise, waking up again, looking up at the ceiling, there were no signs of writing on the ceiling. But I know that you should know it was no other than the Messiah, Amun-Rayay, and his many miracles and wonders of his divine love for us. Even sometimes we get a little stiff-necked. He still comes through for us, even when the doctors told me I had cancer mass on my colon and needed surgery to remove the mass. And if I don't get the surgery, I won't be alive too much longer. Well, it's been almost 4 years now, and all thanks to the Messiah and his spiritual and healing packages, I'm still existing as I'm ascending us to the new heaven and new earth as we enter the dimensional shift with one mind and divine Amun-Rayay and the 144,000. And he gives our class times and whatever, inviting the world to class. They prepare, is it 10:30? Okay, family, it's 10:30 now. You all need to go outside and perform some miracles. They prepared the 144,000 who were separated from the Najaru, Natat, Negroid seed of Gunam sheep from the scapegoat or rams. This caused the real Messiah or anointed one of the Negroid seed or Cabal. I want y'all to know I've been woke all night long. The computer man, a policeman, came from another city. He'd been working on the computer. He stayed here till after 5 o'clock this morning, and he was back 5 hours before class, working on the computer again. I had to give him some more money. He got to come back again Wednesday. But I got to tell y'all, I'm kind of nervous about people being upon us like that in these last days that we don't know. So all of you pray for me, and I want you to pray and send divine light to Kim in Florida.
All right, and I'm finna go check on. I'm gonna check on him again. I took him to get something to eat. I'm gonna go check him.
I love you.
Check him, see if he all right.
Thank you, Marua. Let's send some divine light to Kim right now. Let him. Somebody got to help. We got to all help him find some place to stay right now and get him off the street. Okay. Let's support that, brother.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Give me his number, Marua.
How can we help him?
Need his phone number?
Huh?
How can we help him?
Say it again.
How can we help him, the brother?
Well, you can call St. Petersburg, Florida, and find homeless shelters for him to get up on his feet temporarily and off the street. That'd be the greatest thing you can do for him right now. Now, give them his phone number, Maror.
Oh, I'm getting it.
Okay.
Abdamun, let him know. All right. Y'all get ready to write his phone number down.
I'm ready.
And I did heal that brother from AIDS, too, the brother we talking about. Bless his soul. He's a good brother. I'm glad I did it.
727.
Yeah. Y'all go out there and move them stars.
Y'all ready?
I'll be right with you.
Yes, and then 277. And then 2709.
What's his name again?
What's his name?
Yes.
His name is Kim, and got it. Thank you.
How it happen, Aurora?
Afternoon. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, y'all remember, this white policeman seems to be all right, but the policeman calling me at least 20 times a day for donations, every group of them, every day, and they stopped calling once he got in the house. So, we're in the last days. I'll call up and give you all his whole name and where to find him individually, if I haven't already messaged you with that information. All right, who's going to move that first star and perform the first miracle?
I'll go.
I will.
All right.
Lucas.
All right, sister, go ahead.
This is Lucas. Okay, I don't see a star over my head.
I see it.
I'm going to move that star in the name of Amun-Rayay.
Please.
Moving up.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, drop down. He's dancing around some.
Dropping down.
Up and down.
Yeah, I saw it dancing around. Which way now?
In the name of Amun-Rayay. In the name of Amun-Rayay, move to the right.
It went down again.
Moving right. Yeah.
All right.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, back to the left.
Going back left.
Now, all of you, as the collective Amun, we as Partner Jaru, the Amun, you all are beginning to perform miracles greater and more glorious than all the previous ones, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you see the method to my madness. Now you see why I'm here. All right. And the circle clockwise was, right? Yeah.
Yes. Clockwise. Moving around a lot.
I love you. All right. Who's going to be next? Who's going to be next? I love you. Go ahead, brother. Who's next? Please.
I'll go.
Okay,
I can
go
go.
ahead. Go ahead, brother. Is this you, Mentor-Ray?
Yeah.
All right, Mentor-Ray, you go next.
Okay.
What you see?
See a bright stuff above my head.
All right.
Yeah.
I see it.
Okay. In the name of Amun-Rayay, the Messiah, go clockwise. One clockwise. It is. One clockwise. One clockwise. One clockwise.
I love you all.
Okay. In the name of Amun-Rayay, drop down.
Dropping down.
Dropping down. Dropping down.
Dropping down.
All right. Who at?
I love you. Next, anybody in London? What you gonna do for us? All right. Go ahead. Love you guys.
Love you too. In the name of Amun-Rayay, move clockwise. And it's moving clockwise. That I'm moving.
I love you. That's what we doing. And you know we're doing something a different one, so that makes sure y'all know it's us.
Mm-hmm. In the name of Amun-Rayay, raise up.
Raising up, going up.
Moving up.
Moving up.
Yeah, it was wobbling, so I'm gonna go ahead.
Yeah, it's still wobbling. In the name of Amun-Rayay, move closer.
That's different.
Just coming closer.
Moving closer. In the name of Amun-Rayay, come even closer.
Just coming closer.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, move back to where you were at. And it's going back.
Going back.
Going back. In the name of Amun-Rayay, stop. Thank you, family. Love you all.
I love you. I love y'all when you perform miracles for the world.
Love
do that
you.
Do it for the mortals. I love you too. Okay.
I go next.
All right.
I see a star.
All right.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, drop down.
It's dropping down.
And it's dropping down. Stop in the name of Amun-Rayay. Move
down.
up.
It's moving up.
It's running up.
Moving up. Stop in the name of Amun-Rayay. Move to the left.
Moving
Moving
left.
to the left.
Going to the left.
Stop in the name of Amun-Rayay. Move to the right.
Moving right.
It's moving to the
Moving right.
Going right.
Stop. Now go in the clockwise circle in the name of Amun-Rayay. And it's going clockwise.
Going clockwise.
Yeah.
All right.
Tall has Messiah.
I love y'all. One more disciple. All right. All right. Atifin, what you gonna do for us in Virginia?
Oh, yes. Finally
What do
made
you
the cut. All right. I see a star above my head.
All right.
Amun-Rayay.
I see it.
Move to the right.
It's wobbling. It's wobbling. Something.
Yeah, it's wobbling.
It is.
Wobbling.
I just want to make sure you can see me. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, so, okay. Me with Amun-Rayay, move clockwise. Come on.
It's going clockwise.
It's moving.
Name of Amun-Rayay, stop. Name of Amun-Rayay, drop down. He's coming down.
It's dropping down.
And stop. Thank you. I'm good.
I love you. Thank you. Fatah, what you got in D.C.?
I got a star.
I see it.
Move it to the right in the name of Amun-Rayay.
It's moving right.
Going right.
Moving right.
Take it to the left.
And it's moving
Going to the left.
Going left. Stop and take it in a clockwise circle.
It's going clockwise.
Going clockwise.
All right. Now, Ab, Diamond with that heart. What you gonna move to creation for us real quick?
Yes. Sure.
Which way you gonna move it?
I want to move all creation in the name of Amun-Rayay. All creation go up.
It's running up.
I love when y'all bear witness to one another.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, all creation drop down.
And it's coming down.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, all creation go to the right.
It's going to the right.
It's going fast. Stop and all creation go clockwise circle for the 144,000 elite few. Najaru, Amun-Rayay.
Beautiful.
And it's going in a clockwise circle.
Somebody, a sister said, beautiful, I love you. Yeah.
That was beautiful. Nice.
I love you all. Look here.
One thing. Can I tell everybody my attribute?
Yes.
Yes, y'all. I received my attribute August the 16th, like 2 days prior to that, I started eating a little dark chocolate because my heart was bothering me. I was like, massaging my heart, and then it stopped. As soon as it stopped, I somehow got out of work kind of early. It was like around by 10:38. I had received a call from the Messiah, and he asked me if I had anything to write with, and I said yes. And that night, that's when he told me I was Amun.
That's right, Amun.
Which is the heart. That is the heart. Amun. And it means.
And what does it mean?
It means the hidden heart of Amun.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. Well, everybody gets something to live up to. Now I want to let you all make you aware of what's happening in California. I lived in San Diego 14 years, but this storm running up the West Coast through San Diego and Los Angeles, and we got one brother there in Los Angeles. Are you here tonight, brother? He told me he would be here. But when I called him, he saw the water.
I'm here.
Okay. Could you describe the conditions to us out there, and if there's any cause for us to worry, where we should collectively send you light and protection? Just tell us what's going on.
Okay. So it's been a lot of rain, a lot of water. It's been just constantly raining, and it's been windy. Where I'm at right now, it doesn't seem that the hurricane is gonna touch ground or anything like that.
Okay.
So I'm protected right now. Amun did tell me not to worry earlier.
That's right.
In the day when I spoke to him, and so I just concentrated my efforts into being positive and happy all day. And it's been a good day,
and that's the reality you created.
Else.
You created that reality with your own power. Now, did you feel the earthquake that they talked about on the news, the 5.1?
Yeah, I felt that. That definitely shook me up a little bit. But yeah, we're all right where I'm at.
You felt any more aftershocks?
Nothing since then. The last one was about 2 hours ago.
Well, we happy for you, brother. Just watch out. And also, there's over 400 wildfires in Canada. Y'all know what just happened in Hawaii, and you got 3 hurricanes approaching the United States, and I think one is almost in the Gulf of Mexico if it's not already there. So these negative beings, they're going to have to face the gauntlet because they try to create nefarious, ugly plans, and so they're going to be introduced to the dark side in a way that I really don't like to move and shake, but they don't have the respect for the Creator or us. You know that? So I want y'all to put your collective minds together and send some pain on these evil beings until they cease and desist, and blessings on all the righteous. Now, how many of you all are a little keener on how we create our own reality after this class? You got some research to do on lasers and holograms, right? Research and study on it, right?
Yeah.
So, but you got some idea how we create with our own mind, right?
Yes.
Sure.
I'm going to get clear on it. I'll get clear on it as we go along, but I want to make sure you all know you create your own reality, and the more vivid you are about the images, the faster you're going to create it. And there's no limit to what we can do together as an organized group, as Amun. You follow me? I love you all, Amuns. We are one divine love. Let's go on home. Peace.